There are certain people who, after growing an audience of maybe 20,000 subscribers, think the world owes them everything.
And I will eviscerate every single person with my intelligence right now. Mom, thank God, look at me!
Okay.
Piss some people off with this one, but here we go, we're doing it anyways. How to get free stuff from small businesses as an influencer. First of all, you buy their shit and then tell them you like their stuff, and then you don't ask for free stuff, and if they offer, then that's a different story, but don't ask them.
If you know that you can carry me from this seat, I dare you. I dare you to carry me from this seat.
I don't like you. Get some light.
You're not the PR person.
I am a PR person.
And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with having an audience. I think it's much more about the character of the person than the audience or the influence that they have. And we've seen examples of like people who are very respectful, kind, even though they're famous and rich. For example, Keanu Reeves is an example of someone who is always given as an example of someone who is very, very respectful and kind to people around him. Guys, we're gonna be talking about entitled influencers.
I have everything right here and it's all been falsified. If anyone dares try to test my mental competence, I will eviscerate every single person with my intelligence right now. And that's not being egotistical.
Police paperwork says the pursuit started after Conover was going 55 in a 35. After 8 miles, Conover stopped and an officer attempted to de-escalate the situation, but Conover allegedly drove at him and hit him in the leg and then sped off for another 28 miles, and saying this was part of a, quote, police sting against him.
All right.
Okay, Eric.
All right.
They're here to help. The state asks that he remains in preventative detention.
Personally, I think either he's having a mental health crisis or he's doing drugs. Like one of the two. This isn't the first time that he's doing this. He was caught driving under the influence sometime before this situation happened. It's not normal. It's not normal for someone to be behaving like that. He is very erratic. He is very all over the place. Even the way he was crying for his mom, like that's not normal. Like that's not normal. Either it's mental health or drugs.
I have a bone to pick with all of you influencers that DM companies in order to get free product in exchange for a free like Instagram reel or TikTok. Because we have our own business. We started like a health and wellness business, and all of our revenue comes from people ordering like second, thirds, and fourth times. Like they love it, subscription based. The issue is a lot of you influencers that DM us will send you free product. Like look at the DMs
of people just asking for free product.
There's like hundreds of DMs.
And we'll send them out. We're down. We need content. We're a small business, but then post it. Like hold up your end of the bargain and post it.
And we're very clear about it too. We're direct. We're like, we'll send you a bottle in exchange for an Instagram reel or a TikTok. And it's very direct, and like you're the ones coming to us. For you not to post it, that's so disrespectful, one, but two, it's expensive.
And I just did the math, and literally every one that we've sold, every one that we sent out for free, this is how much money we've lost.
Yeah.
2,000.
2,500.
It loses us money. Like, don't DM companies if you're not gonna post. And I feel like nobody actually talks about that, but it's so frustrating to deal with influencers that just like try to get shit for free. So don't try to get shit for free. We're a small business and we honestly don't have $2,500 to just like.
That's so true, because as an influencer, your job is to sell people's products. Like you're just a walking billboard. So if someone gives you something for free, especially if they are a small business, you're obligated to ensure that that product is posted at least even, because if I'm getting something from like a small business and they've given it to me for free and I'm going to be using it for like 2-3 years, especially if I think the product is really good, I'm going to share it on my socials multiple times. Because for that business to be able to give me that product, it took a lot out of their like profit and like, revenue. So that just shows a level of entitlement, thinking that I'm just supposed to receive free stuff because I've got an audience online. Like, no, that's not how things work.
About to piss some people off with this one, but here we go, we're doing it anyways. How to get free stuff from small businesses as an influencer. First of all, you buy their shit
and then tell them you like their stuff, and then you don't ask for free stuff, and if they offer, then that's a different story, but don't ask them. If you want to try and get free shit from people, do it from the bigger brands, because you know it's just some person sitting behind a computer who's cashing a paycheck who probably isn't that invested.
And that's so true, because like we've seen like from shopping hauls that influencers will spend a lot of money on designer brands. They'll spend a lot of money on like big products, like these, you know, big brands, but then expect a small business to give them things for free because what? Because you're supposed to promote their product? No. In fact, you should be prioritizing buying from small businesses, because like, hello, you were also small at some point and people gave you the benefit of the doubt. People supported you, so give that back in return. It's just an entitlement, to be honest. It's disgusting.
I recently had the rudest influencer experience of my life, so I have to spill the tea. I was going to a movie premiere. I got invited with a +1, so I told my friend to meet me at the theater. They give me a movie ticket with an assigned seat. Every single movie premiere I've ever been to is like that. Like, you get a ticket and then you go sit in that assigned seat. The lady at check-in sees that I have a +1, and she tells me that she's gonna hold on to that ticket and make sure that my friend gets it. I decide to go to my seat, settle in. This influencer comes up to me. At first she seemed nice and she tells me she needs an extra seat, so I was like, oh, I'm here, my friend's in the one next to me, but I haven't seen anyone in that one on the end. Then she says, no, I need that one, and points at the seat I'm currently sitting in. And keep in mind, the theater's still mostly empty at this point. I thought maybe I got mixed up, so I pull out my ticket and look at it, and I'm like, oh no, this is D10, like this is my seat. At this point, I see her face is starting to get mad. She's like, oh no, we're not going by the seats on the ticket, like everyone just comes and sits wherever they want. I was like, are you sure? Because at check-in, they told me to sit here to make sure that my friend gets a spot next to me. Now she starts going off at me, being like, you're the only one who cares about the assigned seat, nobody cares, we all just come and sit down, like why are you ruining this for everybody? And I didn't want to move, not that I even care where I was sitting, but I was like, then I'm gonna be sitting in someone else's assigned seat, it's gonna be awkward when they come. But at this point, like, her voice is really loud, people are looking, and this is like a professional event, I don't want to look like I'm having drama. I go and move a couple seats over, even though I know now I'm in someone else's spot. She leaves to go to the bathroom, and then I hear the people behind me complaining that she took their seat too, and the seats that they went to sit in, another person was like, oh, that's my assigned seat, and it was just messing it up for everyone. And I'm like, yeah, she kicked me out too. When she gets back, they ask her again nicely to go to her seat. She refuses, so they bring over security, and he tells her to go in her seat, which she finally does, but she's yelling at us, calling us crybabies. And the worst part is her seat was literally just one row back this whole time. Like, I've just never met such a diva in my whole life.
First of all, I would not move. Hey, I wouldn't. I would be like, excuse me, my sister, if you know that you can carry me from this seat, I dare you. I dare you to carry me from this seat. You see, all of these things happen to me. I would enjoy it. But anyway, that's like a good example of like feeling entitled. You know, you think just because you have like some influence, you want people to do whatever you want to do, like whatever you want. Like, you need to chill, okay? You need to chill. Like, I would dare you. I would dare you, double D dare you, to tell me that nonsense, that nonsensical nonsense.
File this under fuck around and find out. So this creator's going viral for this interchange with a PR person.
I don't like you. Get some light. I am a PR person.
And she's a fashion influencer with like 170,000 followers and 3.8 million-ish likes. And the problem with fashion influencers is they've been nominated by the public. And PR folks don't care about the public. And the culture of high fashion is about exclusivity. So if this PR person had taken a liking to her and pre-nominated her, sure, she could come in. But her following alone means nothing. PR in high fashion is about exclusion, because that's where their power rests. This guy's whole job is to keep people out.
That's why you're not coming in. You are not welcome because I don't like you.
And her populist platform and the self-satisfied attitude that it gives her is like oil and water. He's been waiting to scream at an influencer. And this screaming match highlights establishment arts and culture and fashion versus influencer culture. File this under...
That's just embarrassing. That's just embarrassing. Like, dude, if they say you can't come in, just go somewhere else. You know, people don't understand that if someone doesn't like you, they don't like you. you know? And sometimes it could be you, and sometimes it could be them. Even like Flo Rida wasn't allowed to enter into a nightclub at some point. I remember it was like a huge thing, like he wasn't famous enough to enter into a nightclub, and I was like, Jesus. So I think a lot of influencers need to understand that just because you have a following doesn't make you famous or better than everyone else, because there are people that you have to like interact with. And for example, this PR person might not be famous, but he's the one who holds the keys to the gate. He's the one who says you can come in and you cannot come in, and he doesn't like you because maybe you're a brat, you're rude, you're so full of yourself. Like, it's one thing to be confident and it's one thing to be full of yourself. So yeah, that's just so embarrassing. If I was her, I would have left. I'm sure by the time she was done arguing, all her makeup melted from her face. So you got to go. This was.
Okay, my bachelorette party is in May, so I hopped on the trend of reaching out to brands to see if they'd be willing to send over some PR just for fun. So here's some responses I've already gotten. And if you're a brand that wants to send me stuff, hit my DMs. Disclaimer, is this tacky? Probably. Have you met me? I'm tacky. I don't care. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. That doesn't mean you need to make fun of other people for doing it. I'm not encouraging anyone to do it. I'm just saying that this is what I did. Okay? That's it. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that I'm entitled to any of this. I'm not expecting any of these brands to even respond to me. At this point, I'm almost expecting a no from every brand. However, the answer will always automatically be no if you never ask. So that's why I'm doing this. It's just fun. I'm just having fun. That's all this is, okay? Okay, keep in mind, I've reached out to like upwards of like 150 brands at this point, and I keep reaching out to more every day because, like I said, I'm just having fun. So this is not all of them. So if you guys want to see more, let me know. And I feel like I've been reaching out to a good mix of like lifestyle, like health, wellness, skin, hair, whatever, as well as like food, energy, whatever. Pretty much anything that's in my room, in my kitchen that I use regularly, I've been reaching out to that brand. So first and foremost, I reached out to Alani Nu. They responded almost immediately with the big fat no, which is fine. Then I reached out to Element. I call it Element. A lot of people call it Element Tea. They're just the electrolyte company. I see them in all the Bachelorette PR videos. So yeah, they're sending me stuff, which is fun. So reach out to K-Bella. They do like little face masks that are in Target and stuff like that. Their stuff is cheap anyway, so I'm probably just gonna pick some up anyways, but they said no. And they said the same thing. They were like, we pride ourselves on having like inexpensive goods, whatever, yada yada. So that's fine. Next, Mega Babe and Hero Skin both sent me coupon codes. The only issue with the coupon codes is that you have to buy directly from the site. So like you have to pay for shipping and stuff anyways, but it is still a nice offer. Next, I reached out to High Noon. I love High Noon, and I liked this response because it was personal, because I did like attach pictures of myself with High Noons to the email. They did say no, but again, the email was very personal. They said, you know, we love it. We're an alcohol company, so it's not easy to ship things. I was like, you guys can ship me a t-shirt or something. But it's fine. It's fine. Not a big deal. Next, Tony Moly. They're similar to K-Bella. They do like little face masks. They're in Ulta and Target and stuff like that. That is a maybe. So they responded to the email saying like, we love that. Please fill out this Google form. This way we have more information on how we can like help you. So we'll see if I get something from them. Now, this was the only one I was mad at, only because I am constantly tagging Salud in my videos, and also I ordered from them last week and my shit still hasn't shipped, but they said no. They said they would give me a 15% reimbursement if I send them like an invitation afterwards, which at that point, okay, whatever. Liquid IV said no, and then Box Water and Living Proof both sent coupon codes, which is pretty fun. Not Your Mother's, like the hair care place, they said no, and then Olipop, that's supposed to be Olipop, not Olipo. Olipop and the Little Words Project, which is like the little bracelets, they both sent coupon codes, which is really fun. Okay, Benefit said no, and they recommended that I buy samples, which I think is really funny. Caboodles, which is like the little storage things from Target, they said no. Kula said no. Elemis said no, and then First Aid Beauty did send a coupon code. Pretty much a lot of the brands were saying that they have been getting an influx in these like requests, and they just aren't able to respond to everyone. I do have some responses that aren't in there. If you guys want to see another video, I can, but a lot of like bigger brands like Neutrogena and L'Oreal, they pretty much said like now they're dedicating their donations to actual charities, which is great. But yeah, again, I'm not expecting anything. All those responses are fine. I really don't care if it's a yes or a no. Like I said, I'm just having fun, and a shooter's gotta shoot. But yeah, like I said, I have reached out to like upwards of like 150 to 200 brands. I am reaching out to more like every day because I'm just having fun. So if you guys want to see more of these, let me know. If you have reached out to some companies for PR and you have gotten a different response or whatever, let me know. Yeah, that's it. Okay, my bad.
At least she's self-aware, so that's one thing. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking, like I said, but then just don't be too desperate, because I've seen people who are like, please brands, please, like send me something, please, I need this for my bachelorette. I want my family and my friends to feel special and loved. Please send this to me. And I'm like, dude, you need to chill. Okay, you need to chill. Would love to know what you think about influencers feeling entitled, and what's the thing that you have seen express itself as entitlement when it comes to influencers. Like, what's the thing that you think, this, when I think of like entitlement, I think of this when it comes to influencers. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, don't forget to like don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.